Okay, I'm sorry, Katie. Hi, how could I forget? Katie Bettner, who's done so much to bring this whole thing together. And who's a future mayor of Provo.
That would mean I would have to live here full time and like Stephanie said, I got involved in this in a very random way. We live in the summer, we live in Sundance. And I'm from Texas, and I grew up neither gay nor Mormon. And but when I was in a small town in Texas that was heavily Baptist. And what I realized when I joined the Mormon church and moved to Utah is that Mormons in Utah are much like Baptists in Texas. And so what the problem with going to the Baptist church in Texas was that every week they would have somebody, and I used to call it fear of the week. Because it would be like 1 week they would talk bad about one group, and 1 week they would talk bad about another group. And I was like, I thought we were going to talk about Jesus. And two of their favorites were Mormons and gay people. And always one to love the underdog. I decided that I wanted to support both of those groups. And since there were only like 10 Mormons in my town, you know, they couldn't really afford to at all have anything bad to say about anybody. Because they were also the minority. So I started learning about this religion, and I was like, wow, this political neutrality thing is awesome. And so I had to wait for that laugh. And so what I did was I started reading about it, and I was like, you know, I kind of like some of this stuff. Some of this stuff really works. And I grew up Methodist. I tried all the other ones, so I was like, I'm going to give this one a shot. So I joined the church, and 2 months later, I went to BYU. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And during that time was when the church took a stand on marriage equality in Hawaii. And my heart was broken. Because I thought I was coming to something different from other religions. And so I left. And I moved to Salt. Well, first I worked at Juice and Java because it was like the only place you could go in Provo if you were like trying to figure out what. It was a hub for a lot of LGBT people. And I found some good people. And so what I did was I left, and I didn't really leave the church because there were things that I still really loved about it. And so I went through my journey in life, always with just kind of a feeling that there was something about Mormonism that I needed. But I couldn't figure out how to reconcile it. And in Texas, I was capable of being a Mormon of my own understanding. And in Utah, that's not so much the case. So I found a home there, and my husband joined the church because it was very sci-fi, in his opinion. Mostly. But under the assumption that if we ever had a gay child, we would have to leave. Because we couldn't do that. So it was like, we can be here, but if we ever have a gay kid, we have to. And so when we started having kids, and I've never had a problem, obviously, saying, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, I'm very open about it. But when we had a child and things started getting a little bit more tense at church in the last 5-10 years, a little bit more tense at church. And so I felt such a huge struggle, but I couldn't let go of either thing. And I didn't feel like I could be fully Mormon, and I didn't feel like I could say that I didn't think that there was good things in my church. And so I just kind of lived on the fringes. And then I started finding all these really interesting people, and I see some of them here. And I would listen to their podcasts, and I would read what they had to say, and I thought, oh, maybe there is a little something somewhere for me. And so my mom had us come stay at a house in Sundance, and I was like, well, I would never buy a house in Utah County. But I went to the ward in Utah County, like the Provo Canyon ward, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of beards and long-haired men and colored shirts, and this is kind of somewhere I can get into. And so we bought that house, and then a girl from that ward said she was really struggling. And I said, well, you know, I struggle all the time. And that's part of my spiritual journey, is struggling every day and trying to hold on to what I think I'm supposed to do. She said, well, I want you to meet this woman, Stephanie. And so I said, okay. So we met, and we went to lunch, and by the end of lunch, she convinced me to be on the board. And I was like, you know, I'm only here for 3 months a year, right? She said, yeah. So my husband and I have a family foundation, and the whole point of the family foundation is to support people doing the hard work on the ground. Because we have little kids, and we have a lot of different interests. But I think Stephanie exemplifies the hard work on the ground without any promise that it was ever going to happen, without a lot of support on a lot of different fronts, with more kids than I can handle in my house for 10 minutes, and in a place that nobody thought would be hospitable to something like this. She has created something that you can see from anywhere. And it brings people to a place where they can love each other. And it's different because no one's asking anyone to leave a part of themselves at the door. No one's asking you to leave your religion at the door. No one's asking you to leave your orientation at the door. No one's asking you to leave your politics at the door. We just want you, fully you, here. And I wasn't sure that that could happen here. And now I'm convinced that this is where it has to start. And I've already met people in Tennessee. I've met people in Texas that want to find something like this for their own Orthodox religious communities. And it would never have happened if Stephanie hadn't just said, I have to do this. So thank you for letting me watch you. Thank you in this town for letting me be a part of something that I shouldn't have had any real reason to be a part of. Because it's made me a better person. It's made me know who I am and what my beliefs are. And I love it here, and I love how many of you love this place. And thank you.